Joyce Woodworth. Welcome to the Spirit of Winona. It's that time of year again. It's hot and sticky, and Steamboat Days is here. The carnival's in town. There'll be a parade, a queen pageant, and there'll be fireworks. It's probably the most exciting time in the year for Winonans, especially for children. Today we're going to find out about some of the festivities from Steamboat Days in the past, and we're going to find out what's going on here today.
Water race. All right, ladies ready to play? We got a winner every time we race. Come on over and try it. See who's the best. You ready? Come on over and try it. See who's the best.
Was it fun?
When you went up, it felt like you're like, it's a wild thing, you're like going down like this.
Yeah, like especially when you stand up.
Yeah.
Was it scary?
Yeah. It wasn't scary, it just felt like your tummy was like, was moving all around.
What's your funnest ride at the carnival?
That was,
That one? What was it like?
it's been like rocks.
Like rocks, it felt like?
That is really, really
Was it scary when you were in there? What was it like? Was it fun? Was it exciting? What's your favorite ride here? How did you like your ride? Was it fun? How about you? Did you like the ride? What was it like? It was fun? So what's your favorite ride here? The big boat one. Did you have a fun ride?
First carnival
Oh, it's so cute. Having fun? What's your favorite ride so far? Okay. What's your favorite thing to do at the carnival?
Eat.
Eat? What do you like to eat?
Everything. Cotton candy.
Cotton candy, cheese curds?
Would you like to try one of our delicious brats?
Sure I would. I love it.
Would you like onions
Of course. Onions
and sauerkraut?
and sauerkraut.
Okay, what bratwurst coming up?
Sounds great.
Okay.
Great brat. The best. Uh-huh. Absolutely. We'll have to remember this every year to come get your brat at the ambassador's booth, right?
That's right.
There you are. And
Well,
we
so
fill
what do
it
you
up.
have for me here?
That's a strawberry milkshake from the American Dairy Association Milkshake Wagon.
It looks wonderful.
It's being sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Agricultural Committee.
Okay. Do you serve a lot of these?
That's a strawberry shake made
Oh,
with
wow.
real ice cream.
This looks delicious.
The real stuff.
That's worth coming down to the carnival just for that.
Now, Joyce, if you finish with that and you want another one, I got chocolate too.
Okay, I'll make sure I come back for that as well.
Okay, great.
Okay, thanks.
Come and enjoy it. You
All
bet.
right, thank you.
Say pop!
Oh, good job.
Indian in her blood. All right.
I think this guy needs to stand up here.
Give him the red carpet treatment. All right, up to Daisy. Hey, let's get this guy.
Okay, let's try you again.
All righty. There you go. Yeah, that's okay. I got an idea for you, too. Hold it like a pencil, throw it like a baseball. Oh, that's okay. Look at what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to take that one down, and you pop it. Pop it. Stick, no, don't throw it. Poke it. Poke it. Pocahontas. Stick a fork in it. Hey, he did it. Ouch, ouch, no.
All right.
He did it. All right.
So does he get a prize?
Sure, he gets a
Gets
prize.
one. All right.
We got one for you. There you go. Boom.
What's it like traveling with the carnival?
It's very interesting. You meet a lot of different people, and every state is different, and every carnival is different. So we try to entertain the people and put on a good show wherever we're at. So you're gonna always bump into different people, and the hospitality is great here in Minnesota. So Winona, thanks.
Come on, you can do it. It's only $2. It's not like you're not gonna get something for your money.
What do you think Winona?
What do I think of Winona? I like it. It's an old town. It's really clean though. I've noticed that Minnesota's a lot cleaner than other states down south. You know, I'm from Nashville originally, so it's a lot cleaner here. I like it. People are really nice. Hildebrand's a really good show. We enjoy what we do, and it's a lot of fun. It's a clean show. We really like it.
And what's this game right here?
This game here, you have to climb up and ring the buzzer. If you do that without falling off, then you win your choice.
You get one of those great big teddy bears?
Anyone you want. That's all you gotta do.
Where's it gonna be? Where's it gonna be? Where's the flag? Right there. They're trying to cheat on it. What you want, big guy?
As the hot day turns into evening, the carnival in downtown Winona comes more alive with the twinkling lights and the intensity of the crowd. Hildebrand's midway of fun lights up the summer sky as the rides spin and twist in the warm Winona night, giving one the thrilling illusion of being on Coney Island in New York. The pitch of the carnival worker can be heard in the background. The carnival is certainly the most thrilling part of our summertime celebration for many of us. But there are many other facets of Steamboat Days as well, and one person in particular is not only in charge of presenting these to Winona, but has participated in every Steamboat Days celebration since they began, and has the buttons to prove it. I'm currently sitting with someone who has been a part of Steamboat Days probably since it began. Not that he's that old, but because he was born here in Winona, and I know Steamboat Days started in 1948. This is Fred Benning. Hi, Fred. Welcome to the Spirit of Winona.
Thank you for asking me to be a part. You're right. I'm not that old, I guess, to be a part of the original Steamboat Days. I was just a few years old then. I actually started Steamboat Days working on it back in 1967 when I was a member of the JCs, and I was a part of it till 1975, and that's when I left the JCs because of age, I guess, and moved up to Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and I was up there for 10 years. And then I just got back involved here last year when the JCs didn't have the manpower to continue on, and a bunch of businessmen stepped forward to resurrect it, I guess.
Well, tell me what it was like when you were a little boy and you used to go to Steamboat Days. What was it like then?
Well, it was really great. We always looked forward to it. The parade used to be on 3rd Street. The carnival was always on Main Street. And we used to have the powerboat races. In fact, I sold bottles of pop down at the powerboat races for 10 cents, and I'd get a penny out of each bottle I sold. So I always looked forward to that, and I made pretty good money back then, probably $10 for the weekend, and that was big money back in the 50s.
Now, I know you are a button collector of the Steamboat Days. Tell me about all these buttons, or tell me about some specifically that have special meaning to you.
Well, naturally, the first year, the 1948 one, that's pretty rare. There's one button in there that's got the wrong dates on. We printed up 10,000 buttons, and they all had the wrong dates of well, it wasn't the wrong date of the festival, but it was the wrong annual. It was supposed to be the 23rd annual, and it came out the 22nd annual, and I don't think everybody really realized that, but we knew about it, and we had them already printed, so we had to leave it go.
So that's really a collector item.
Well, yeah, it was a mistake that we had to keep.
Well, let's go back to the history of the Steamboat Days. Can you give me some of the history of it?
Okay, well, Steamboat Days goes back to probably the 1890s, and they used to have a street fair here, and they had it every year, and it was the same time every year. They used to have it on 3rd Street and down Main Street. If you go to the Historical Society, you can look at pictures and see this.
One of these pictures shows a water tank in the middle of the street with a ladder towering way above the downtown buildings and a daredevil diver diving into the water below.
They used to have carnivals and stuff, Ferris wheels, and it just kept evolving and evolving.
During the Depression era, a free pancake breakfast was served during one of the fairs. Boards were lined up down 3rd Street where everyone enjoyed a cup of coffee and a plate of pancakes. The kids sat on the curb, licking their fingers and enjoying the festivities. In the 30s, a queen was selected, and during the pancake event, she sat on her throne along with the other local queens. This queen was Ruth Faulkner, later known as Ruth Lucas. She and her 2 attendants wear the wing gold flour sacks to show their support for the sponsor of the event.
And then in '48, they decided to change it to a Steamboat Days. And what they did then was there was a lot of old paddle wheel riverboat captains. And for the first Steamboat Days, they invited all those people to come to a banquet. They had it at the old Hotel Winona. And they continued that tradition for several years until there weren't too many more of those old Steamboat Days captains around. So they just continued the tradition of Steamboat Days, and they've added things, like the Miss Winona pageant and stuff like that. But that was the first Steamboat Days in 1948.
In 1946, Winona selected Vivian Glenday as the first Miss Winona to participate in the Minneapolis Aquatennial Queen of the Lakes contest, and in 1948, Rosalie Critchfield was selected. This happened to be the first year for the Steamboat Days event, so along with the Miss Winona, a Miss Steamboat Days was selected, plus 2 attendants. Out of a group of over 30 entrants, Patricia Weishorn, later known as Pat Heisey, became the first Miss Steamboat Days. From then on, Miss Winona and Miss Steamboat Days became one and the same. There used to be a wonderful evening show, an evening performance, and it was always held down by the levee. Tell me about that, the history of that.
Well, we used to have the stage show outside. In fact, years ago, they used to bring a barge in and park it down at the levee and put a stage on that. Well, they got away from that, and we used to build a stage down there at the foot of Center Street every year. And then we used to put the 2x8 planks on concrete cinder blocks. Can't do that anymore because of OSHA and things like that, so we kind of got rid of the outdoor shows. We used to pack them down there. I mean, everybody used to come down there. We used to have the Queen pageant outside.
The Queen pageants were strictly beauty pageants until the mid-50s, when Miss Winona was aligned with the Miss America Scholarship Program, and talent and intellect became significant in the selection of a queen. The stage shows, along with the Queen pageants, were held at the levee until 1972. In 2001, at Winona Senior High School Auditorium, we see the Queen pageant is still based on beauty, including swimsuit, personality, intellect, along with the focus platform, and talent.
Explain about the upcoming charity fundraiser event you will be volunteering in.
Well, some of my friends that were on the Winona Senior High School guys swim team decided last year to swim from Red Wing down to Winona. This summer they decided, since last year they had so much publicity, they'd do it again, and they'd take pledges from local businesses and different people around Winona and take all the proceeds and give them to a local charity.
I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Flash, bam, alakazam, out of an orange-colored sky. Stay out late, don't care to go. I'm home about 8 with no date. Just me and my radio, ain't misbehaving. I'm saving my love for you. Ain't misbehaving. I'm saving my love for you.
Miss Congeniality and a winner of a $100 educational scholarship is contestant number 9, Colleen Hendrick.
Go ahead and open it up because there's not going to be much time to read. Now our second runner-up and winner of a $250 educational scholarship is contestant number 3, Jessica Hedrick.
Our first runner-up, who would assume the title if for any reason the new Miss Winona would be unable to complete the year, and is the recipient of a $500 educational scholarship, is contestant number 7, Mandy Bamanek.
I know. And now, our Miss Winona 2001 will receive a $2,000 educational scholarship, the crown, a Winona Family YMCA membership, a plaque, flowers, the opportunity to compete at the Miss Minnesota pageant next June, and a year she will never forget. Our new Miss Winona 2001 is contestant number 8, Gretchen Johnson.
Fred, give me an idea of what some of the old activities you'll be bringing back this year for Steamboat Days.
Okay, well, some of the old things, well, naturally the parade. Parade's our biggest event. It's the most well-attended event that we have, that's for sure. We figure there's probably 20,000 or more people on the parade route. But this parade this year is completely changed. It's going to be really a nice parade for the people to see. We have a bagpipe band coming, Shriner Bagpipe Band out of the Twin Cities. We've added a lot of things. We've spent a lot of money this year to get good units for the parade. Here we have several shrine groups coming down, like motorcycle groups, mini cars. Plus, we've invited a lot of royalty to be part of it this year, so it's really going to be a very entertaining parade.
Lake Sunday Parade is always preceded by the Kiddie Parade at Lake Park on Fridays. All children are invited to participate in the fun or just watch, but every child is guaranteed a chance to shine and to have a good time.
We've added so many different things. The beer tent's even got some good entertainment this year too. We have the regulars like Troubleshooter and Union Station, but we also have the White Sidewalls. And where can you go see a show with the White Sidewalls in it? Free. Bringing a lot of things back. Steamboat Days is not just a beer tent anymore. It's going to be a lot of different things.
That sounds wonderful. Tell me a little bit more about that classic car.
It's called a Classic Car Review, and it's cars from the 1970s and older. And we're going to have the show down here by the beer tent. We already got over 50 cars coming. Several car clubs are going to be here for the parade, and then they're going to go down there for the Classic Car Review, and we're giving away plaques for the best of the 50s, best of the 60s, best of the 70s, and Golden Oldie, and best of show. 2 new events that really aren't new, but they're new for us because they haven't been done in many, many years. The JCs haven't had stage shows for quite a while, since I was a member, I guess, probably, and that goes back quite a ways. We've got the Kids from Wisconsin. It's like an Up With People concert. What they do is they audition about 2,200 high school kids in Wisconsin. And they sing, they dance. Also at pro wrestling, and that usually is a hoot, and that's also at the Winona State. So those are 2 fairly new events that haven't been around for a while. We have the fireworks down here at the levee, and we got a big show for that. We're going to have the boat regatta.
This is an event that has been part of Steamboat Days since the 40s and is still very popular. me why you do it. Why do you stay involved with Steamboat Days?
Well, I was asked that the other day. I think the reason is because, I like Winona, and this is a tradition. I'd hate to see Steamboat Days die, and a lot of other people are that way too. They have stepped forward. We have 13 people on our board of directors, and they all feel the same way. We're all for Winona, and what would happen if Steamboat Days left Winona? We didn't have Steamboat Days. I think people would really miss it.
Exactly.
And that's why we've stepped forward, and we're trying to do something for the city. And we're getting a lot of cooperation this year. We've got a lot of sponsorships. And I think there's several people that are just sitting back and they're saying, well, we're going to wait and see how you do this year, and then we'll help you out next year. But we've done very well with sponsors, and people have bent over backwards. And they can see what we're doing. We're making changes.
Mm-hmm.
We've added things. So people are coming on the bandwagon, and I think we're going to have an excellent Steamboat Days this year. Warm weather, no rain.
I concur. And I just want to say that I think that this year is probably going to be the best and the biggest Steamboat Days that we've ever had, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you for joining me at the 2001 Steamboat Days celebration. This has been Joyce Woodworth, going out with a bang. Till next week, enjoy the Spirit of Winona.